Hello, everybody. 5-MeO DMT. This is something that 1 year ago I didn't even know what it was. And then this week I actually had some. And so in this video, I'm going to be talking about what it is, what actually happened, and what were my 3 big insights. First of all, I would like to say that under no circumstances would I ever recommend for anyone to ever take 5-MeO DMT. I would not recommend it at all. So I want to just make that very clear that it is illegal in many countries, and I would not recommend that you take a substance. I would not recommend that you do anything illegal, and I certainly would not recommend that you would ever do this on your own without the assistance of a trained shaman. So basically this is my 5th plant medicine experience, and I had this calling to do 5-MeO DMT, which is also known as God molecule or spirit molecule. So I had the calling and I did do it. I did it yesterday, and it was the most terrifying experience of my life. It was an experience that you can't put into words, but it also turned out to be one of the most profound experiences of my life. So I'm just going to tell you what happened. So I specifically flew to the other side of the country to have this with a shaman that is known to be doing this as his specialty, if you like. And so what is 5-MeO DMT? It's basically toad venom, and it's taken from toads. In this case, the toads were from Mexico, and the toads, from my understanding, are not harmed in any way. So they're very gentle with the way they take this particular fluid from the toads. And this fluid, which is 5-MeO DMT, it's hard to describe what it is, but it completely shatters any kind of concept that you have of this world. It's very quick. It works very, very quickly compared to the other plant medicine experiences that I had. It's instantaneous. The moment that you inhale, it works instantly. The very first time that I did it, basically the world collapsed, including me, and that was terrifying. It was very scary. And then I went into a sort of vortex where everything was spinning, and it was really frightening to know how to even just live through that experience. And then with the second inhalation that I did, that was some 45 minutes later or something like that. I don't know, there's no concept of time. After the self was shattered, an incredible occurrence happened. And that was, I blasted through the universe and became part of the universe. And that is what they call the near-death experience. So what scientists have actually found is that taking this actually simulates a near-death experience. And you might think, why on earth would you want to simulate a near-death experience? I don't know. I just did. I had this calling to do this, and I did it. I'm glad I did it, but it's one of the things that I would never recommend for anyone to do unless they had the deepest calling and unless they were in the presence of a trained shaman. So it's very hard to put into words because there are no words. Basically, what happened was that once the self was dissolved and once identity was dissolved, it was like this bursting through, almost if you can imagine that you're in this jail cell called life and called earth, and you burst through into the heavens and you feel like you're in the heavens. And the power that I felt inside me was something I have never, ever experienced before. And I know that I made this sound almost like I was bursting through. And there are no words to describe it, because we humans don't realize how incredibly powerful we are. That we have the divine light and the divine spark inside of us. And that we are so much more powerful than we can ever imagine. And this is the first key learning for me, was with the other plant medicines, I experienced unconditional love like I've never experienced before. With this one, it was all about power, but not power in a kind of egotistical or arrogant way. It was power in a very kind of divine way, like there's nothing I can't do because I'm part of the universe, I'm part of everything, and everything is part of me. And when the heavens opened up, it was the most incredible sight that I've ever seen in my life. It was all white and clouds, and I was part of it, it was part of me, and I knew that there was nothing to be frightened of. And that is the second key insight. There's nothing to be frightened of, nothing. Because all of these worries that we have, all of these concerns are actually BS. It's just an illusion. Any concerns we have about money, any concerns we have about acquisition of things, any concerns we have about health, any concerns we have about anything that we constantly worry about, there's nothing to worry about, because this is the illusion. And what I burst through was the truth, and that's how it felt to me. And this doesn't have to be your truth, so you can take it like a grain of salt and like it's not your truth, but I'm just giving you my experience of my truth. My truth was that this is the illusion. This game that we play called life is the illusion. This adventure that we have is the illusion. And what I actually burst into was the truth. And the truth is this omnipresent feeling of being one with Source, God, the universe, whatever you'd like to call it, and knowing that we are just as powerful, that we can create our reality, that we can do anything we like. We think, for example, that money is limited and that there's all these concerns about money, when in fact money is a consciousness that we can choose to step into. The only thing that separates us from money are the blocks and the limiting beliefs that stand in our way, that we've taken on as deep societal constructs of programming. And I could see the layers and layers and layers and layers of programming, because what the 5-MeO DMT, what that did was break the illusion, but it was very hard to break the illusion. It was very difficult. It was the most terrifying thing that has ever happened to me, because you actually go through it. You go through it like a spinning vortex where everything just collapses. And so it was so terrifying. But then on the other side, which only happened after my second inhalation, the other side, the first inhalation was just terrifying. That was when I finally broke through. If you can imagine, like almost like, oh, that's what it was like that sound, that kind of, whoa, here we are, oh my God, this is incredible, this is heaven. And being a part of that experience was liberating, invigorating, incredible. So the first insight was that we are more powerful than we can ever imagine. We have the power inside of us, and we only touch this much of it. Even those people that that think that they're empowered. It's only this aspect of it. There's so much more power than we can possibly imagine. The second insight was that there's nothing to be frightened of. Nothing to be frightened of. And then the third insight is that there is no death, there is only transformation. So how do I know this? I just do. It doesn't have to be your truth. So to me, it's common sense, because we are all energy, and energy can't dissolve. Energy can't be obliterated. Energy can only transform. And so, of course, when we pass from this physical existence, then we transform somehow. We don't just disappear into nothingness. And so there's such a beautiful kind of comfort in that, in knowing that we don't turn to dust, that what is on the other side is so beautiful, so magnificent, so magical, and that feeling can be brought onto earth. That feeling can be lived every day on earth. That feeling of being omnipresent, of being deeply within your heart and allowing your heart to open instead of to close, is the most magical, incredible experience I've ever had. And so now, unlike the other plant medicines, which really sort of stayed with me for a long time, so they stayed with me for weeks afterwards, in terms of that feeling of almost just about spilling out into joyful tears at every moment. This one disappeared really quickly, which is what happens with near-death experiences from everything I've read and seen as well, which is you see the other side, you're at the other side, but then it almost closes again, because we're back on earth. So this time I am making sure that I'm going to integrate the experience as my daily practice and routine. So every morning, I've done this last 2 mornings, every morning, very powerful breath work, followed by a powerful meditation, so I can expand on the experience rather than just like, oh, that's just an experience that I had, and then forget about it. I will never forget what it felt like for the heavens to open up and for me to be part of the heavens. I will never forget about that. I will never, that scene will forever be in my mind. And it wasn't just the scene, it was the feeling, which I can't describe. But all it felt like was like my soul was breathing. In fact, it was gasping. It was like, I'm breathing for the first time. It felt like that this is like this prison cell, and we have this ego identity around us, and we are just walking and living this life with this closure around us. And what the God molecule did for me was it almost felt like I broke through it, went through to the other side, and felt the presence and the magnificence of me. And that is knowing that every single person has that magnificence inside them. If only we knew that. If only we all understood that we don't have to prove anything to anybody, that we don't have to actually achieve anything because we are already magnificent, that we don't have to do all the things that society says that we must do, which I have done, but we don't have to do them. We don't have to do them. We don't have to do them because we already are. There's nothing to prove, nothing to show, nothing to tell anybody. It's who we are. We all have that divine spark inside of us, every single one of us. And we don't have to go through another person to connect with it. We already have that connection inside of us. And if we only all knew this, we wouldn't have to look a certain way. We wouldn't have to dress a certain way. We wouldn't have to have certain brands. We wouldn't have to have certain acquisitions, homes, cars, whatever. All of these are just constructs that are just made up to make us feel that we need to keep striving, achieving, doing. But in fact, all we need to do is be in the glory of who we already are. And so this is a process of eliminating. This is my 5th plant medicine experience. The first one was psilocybin, the second one was psilocybin, the third one was San Petro, the 4th one was San Petro, and this one is the God molecule, toad. And I don't think I'm going to be doing any more for a while, not until I have another calling. I feel like my deepest work now needs to be in the integration of daily life. And it's going to be a adventure to see how I can actually integrate this in my daily life. How can I bring this heaven on earth as part of my daily existence? And then by showing up here on YouTube, sharing the journey with you guys. So showing up as the human that I am, but integrating the knowingness that I'm also divine, and living a life that is true to that, is really the challenge of self-mastery. And so that's what I'm going to be doing from now on. I'm going to be showing up regularly. I'm going to be speaking from the heart. I'm going to be talking about my challenges and insights and aha moments, and really just showing up in life with everything that I have learned with my plant medicine experiences. And I just want to say that I don't believe that the only path to self-mastery is with plant medicine. It could be with anything. Just our normal daily challenges keep challenging us and lifting us and empowering us to evolve consciously. So some people have actual near-death experiences, some people get very sick, some people have abandonment that happens to them. All sorts of things happen to us that help us realize how powerful we really are. This was my path in terms of plant medicine. I don't suggest or condone it for it to be for anybody else. My life has completely changed and transformed as a result of me partaking in plant medicine. But once again, this is not the only way. This was just my way. This was my calling. It doesn't have to be anybody else's calling. So I am going to be showing up regularly. I have said this for a while now, but I am ready to do that. I'm ready to start integrating my learnings and my insights, my aha moments, and the challenges that I experience in YouTube, in this platform, so that anybody who can resonate with what's going on at the moment, with the energies of the world and how we're trying to navigate those to consciously evolve and intentionally live, that's what I'm here to do. So if you found this video helpful, I would really love it if you subscribe to this channel and press notifications so that you can be notified every time I go on, and you put a comment below about any questions that you might have, or any more information that you would like about this particular experience. So I'm going to be showing up, and I am going to be sharing life with you guys. This is a brand new channel, and that is because I have changed directions. So I've left my other channel and this is my new channel, and so I would really appreciate that we're all part of the journey together. Sending you so much love. See you later.